What was the cringiest thing you did in your first relationship? Throwaway account. I lost my virginity to my first girlfriend in the cringiest way possible. We were in missionary position, and the moment I penetrated her, I kind of fell on top of her softly and cried out, "There! I gave it to you." It being my virginity. I don't know why, but I was emotional about it. Yeah. I cringe extremely hard whenever I think about that moment. I wore a floor-length leather jacket to our first date because the Matrix was really cool at the time. We were 16 and we both loved sushi. After payday we'd go to our favorite spot and feed sushi to each other for hours. One roll at a time. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. We would kiss each roll before shoving it into the other's mouth. I sat in the car with her for an hour debating whether I should kiss her. I debated out loud too. No joke. I was literally like, I could kiss you now. But should I? Dear God, why did she ever date me? There was this guy that I used to make out with that lived on a lagoon. We knew another person that lived nearby, so we could use her paddle boat to pass by the back of his house. We didn't see him out in the yard. So desperate and hormone-fueled young me starts yelling his name to see if he'd come out. This was pre-cell phones. I yelled and yelled for a long time, doing circles in the paddle boat. And the friend I was with was like, "Dude, give it up. He's not home." But he was home. He told us later that his whole family was sitting down to eat and heard me screaming his name over and over like a ducking cat in heat. So embarrassing. We weren't official yet, so when he held my hand in public I told him we can only do it for 5 seconds at a time, and I would literally count down. Out loud. The seconds. Yep. We still joke about it and I still cringe. This was less a relationship and more a crush. He was walking me to the subway station, and I wanted to hold his hand. I reached for it and he just kind of kept his hand stiff. So I walked with him with our palms flat against each other's, held out in front of us. Why 15-year-old me? Why? Driving back from the drive-in theater, she takes her bra off under her shirt because it is uncomfortable, and my next move? Turn on my Barenaked Ladies CD and recite all of 1 week. I don't think I hit the high notes in the purest form, as it didn't seem to have the intended effect of wooing. For some reason I pretended like I didn't ever eat. I would never eat around them. It makes me cringe to think about it now. Homecoming dance. First kiss of the relationship. I wanted to try and do the thing from the movies where you passionately grab the other person on both sides of their face and pull them into a dramatic kiss. I ended up smushing his face to the point where he looked like he was sucking on a lemon and got pushed into a glass door. He was nice about it though. The second kiss was much calmer and sweeter. I had a crush on a girl, and after years of innocent flirting I didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I text her, "I love them big ol' boobies of yours," and she never spoke to me again. I still cringed thinking about it. It was just so out of the blue. I was just so stuck in this innocent flirting mode and didn't know how to take the next step, so one day I just decided I would take a trust fall, and I fell flat and hard, LOL. She asked me out over Snap by saying, "I want to date you." I thought she was joking. I was thrilled because I like her a lot but didn't want to jump into saying yes and have her just be kidding. So I go downstairs and my reply was me holding a bag of prunes, and I say, "I don't have any dates but I have prunes." I am not proud of my actions and I have no idea how we are dating as of now, but yeah, that worked. My first one. He broke up with me and I started bawling for a good hour while he hugged me. Poor dude probably just wanted to home. My first serious one. I never talked to him because I was shy. But we made out at school every day in front of everyone. God. I ducking hate teenage me. If a text went unanswered for more than 5 to 7 minutes, I would hit resend. Again and again. And this was like 2007, so phone plans were not what they are now, and I was using my mom's, which had no texting included. Poor guy and poor parents' phone bill. Early in my current relationship, neither myself nor my girlfriend wanted to be the first to say "I love you." To avoid saying it, I once said I like you with all the likes in the world. I was pretty emotional. I thought relationships were like the movies. Every moment was supposed to be schmoozy. Made a complete idiot out of myself. Telling him I love you daddy randomly. He's not my dad. I never called him daddy before that. I thought it was something people do because my brain is pea-sized. It was not effective. I had a crush on her in high school but didn't know how to talk to girls. So I dyed my hair and grew a mullet to get her attention. I guess I was thinking courting was like how animals do it in the wild or something. Like peacocks. I spent hours making half-heart necklaces out of perler beads. One for each of us. That we could both wear to signal that we were committed to each other. I was 13. He was 14. We would make these dumb ducking video stories with shitty green screens, and I know he still has the videos around somewhere but refuses to show me due to cringe LOL. Though, I think the one that takes the cake is the time we went to see a shitty rom-com in theaters. But his mom insisted on not leaving us alone. She sat in the row behind us and would tisk every time he would try to put his arm around me. I asked out my crush over text and she said yes, so I replied with congratulations. You just upgraded to boyfriend package. I still wake up in cold sweat in the middle of the night thinking about that. I was 13. My first boyfriend and I would text 24/7. And for every text we sent each other we would end it with A. And if we were mad at each other for some reason we would end the text with A instead of A. So weird. I didn't know how to break up with someone. The obvious solution was to get them to break up with me by becoming slowly more and more awful to them until they broke up with me. In woodworking class. If you don't start being nicer to me I might break up with you. Okay. X asked to see me pee. Proceeded to show him a video of me doing it. He then said he was disgusted and that he was joking. Went out for a week freshman year. Don't remember speaking to her during that week. Sang an Aerosmith song to her. So ducking I broke up with him over text message and 3 days later I asked him to get back together and he said no. I cried and he still said no. We continued to see each other as friends with benefits, which basically was he could see other girls and I could only see him. This lasted about 3 years, and when he started seeing other girls I would message them pretending to be him telling them to duck off. I was in a terrible place. Total cringe. 13-year-old me was so excited that my boyfriend, now ex-husband, asked me to be his girlfriend that I excitedly jumped up and down shouting thank you again and again. I felt the urge to repeat it when he signed our divorce decree 10 years later. I love you. But I'm not in love with you. Kill me. I might be late, but when I was in middle school my then girlfriend asked me to finger her on the bus. I was just poking her belly button for 20 solid minutes. Why didn't she stop it? I have no idea. She was great. I called my first BFS home every night. Multiple times if he wasn't home when I called earlier. These were days before cell phones were super common, so it was a landline shared by the whole family, which made it even more embarrassing because the whole freaking family knew I was calling. Once I finally got him on the phone, I'd talk about anything and everything. He'd rarely say a word, which made me talk more to fill the silence. I'm now convinced that he'd put the phone down and play video games while I talked into the air for an hour or 2. Or 3. One of us would take swigs of Mountain Dew before we made out and then trade it to the other. Once a girl I had an off and on crush on since kindergarten wrote I love you on my notebook when I was 14. I freaked out and told her best friend I had an arranged marriage overseas. Planned out what I was going to say before I kissed her for the first time the next time we hung out. It was something along the lines of I wish you were a clock because when I look at you, I want time to slow down. She was not prepared and I was given a statue for my first kiss. I texted her in the morning. Good morning, sunshine. The earth says hello. Immediately regretted that one. Had a crush on a really nice girl when I was 14. But we had never really talked or had much of a conversation even in the classes we had. Sent her a flower on Valentine's Day without my name. But someone told her. Had her friend ask if she was interested in me, to which she said that she doesn't really know me. Here comes the cringe. 14-year-old me takes that literally and then waited for her where we both walked between some classes. Proceeded to tell her my life story and history of where I had lived. What I had done from birth to now. I can't believe I was that awkward. At one point tried to compliment her as well. But used the wrong word and I could tell that really set her off. So I cut my losses and figured out I had really screwed up. Was super creepy. And then left her alone. 1 year later, without any interaction since then, we now had a common friend and were walking with said friend down the hall. She asks me how I did on a test in one of our classes. But I don't respond. She signals at me with a hello. To which I reply, who, me? Sorry. I didn't think you would ever talk to me again after last year. We eventually became friends and I just laughed off the super awkward way I acted when I had a crush on her. We went out as friends a few times and she was really fun to talk to in one of our classes senior year. Glad I was able to have a good friend in the end.